Hello and welcome to Yokayi Footy Shorts for another week. Geez, we are really at the pointy end now, and it gives me great pleasure today to share this table with two great men. Andy Krakouer, welcome back for another week.
Thank you, sis. Great to see you as always. But this man, it's great to see him back again. He's a star for the Hawks and a proud nut and Jerry man. Chad Wingard, how are you, my brother?
Hey, good to see you both. Excited. What a round. I mean, can't wait to talk about my Hawkers, but let's get stuck into it.
Yeah, it was a absolutely mind-blowing weekend of football. So much drama, so much excitement, a little bit of heartbreak as well. This season really is something else, isn't it, boys?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you thought the Pies would have got the job done on Friday night, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It was a last-minute goal by Errol Gordon to be able to get the Swans over the line and getting closer to that minor premiership, but obviously still a couple of rounds to go. But Port Adelaide sitting nicely in second as well.
And what about Hawthorn sitting nicely at number 8? They have made their way into the 8. Given we've got you in the hot seat this week, Chad, I want to start off by talking about how impressive your boys were on Sunday, Arvo. Hawthorn have just been a force at the back end of the season.
Yeah, it's an amazing what momentum does. I mean, you think about the young guys and how much energy, and the boys really feed off that. You think about this goal here from Weds, almost the same goal he kicked last week, goal of the year. Unbelievable. Look at the energy. You see the crowd, they're back in force. And you just see it was a complete dominant display. 20 marks inside 50, that is huge. So that's how many shots we're getting on. Unfortunately for Carlton, season-defining game, a lot of injuries, didn't go their way.
Yeah, unfortunately, some big injuries and Charlie Curnow out as well, so that's going to be big for them at the back end of the season indeed. My goodness, Essendon versus the Gold Coast Suns. This was a little bit of heartbreak, this one. Everything was on the line for Essendon in this game. They really needed the win, and although my heart was a bit tender, it was this moment, the Mac Andrews moment. This was the moment of the season, I think. What an unbelievable goal this was and finish for the Gold Coast Suns.
It was his fourth goal of the game, and it looked like he just lived up for that moment. He wanted that moment, and he took all the time up and soaked it all up, and more importantly was able to finish off with the goal. 9 behinds in the last quarter for the Dons. He had the guys like Merritt, Durham, Stringer, Davey Jr., guys that you'd probably think and pencil in to be able to kick goals late in the game, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But as is the theme for the round was inconsistency and inaccuracy in front of goal, and unfortunately it came to get Essendon in the end, but a great win by Gold Coast and Mac Andrews. How good. That was an absolutely beautiful scenes at Marvel.
Absolutely beautiful indeed. And you're right, you can't be missing 9 goals in the final term when it's such a season-defining game. So, yeah, I don't think I barrack for Essendon anymore. Speaking of drama, though, the Adelaide Crows versus the Bulldogs. The Crows blitzed the Bulldogs from the opening bounce. This was a really big upset, and now the Doggies really are kind of clinging on, still on 7th position on the ladder. But yeah, this was a huge win for the Crom.
Yeah, you think about the obviously theme of the game. It's obviously 13 more inside 50s, and they kicked 9 goal 18 to 17 goal 9. So just the efficiency in front of goal, and Fogarty kicking in 5, equal career high in his 100th game. Unbelievable. And how good is it to see Rankin back at his best? I mean, he's an absolute star of the game. Keys again, very vital to the game. They're just such an exciting team when they're up and about. A young side at home. Look at the crowd, absolutely erupting. And Fogarty kicks his 5th. It's just unbelievable game to watch. And Crows are up and about, and Bulldogs' season is on the line. They need a big couple of weeks to obviously stay in that 7th spot.
Yep, they certainly do. But yes, very good to see Isaac Rankin back, and you know the impact that he has, as you can see there. Brisbane v GWS. What a game this was. I mean, again, a massive opportunity for GWS. Brisbane, hot premiership favourite, so this was a huge win for the GWS Football Club.
Yeah, you're spot on, Megsy. It started off like it was smooth sailing. Looked like the Lions were going to get the job done. You've seen Joey Danaher being able to kick that goal early on in the game, and that continued up until the 3rd quarter. But don't know what happened in the last. They weren't able to kick a goal. They kicked 1 goal, 4 in the last quarter, and the Giants kicked 6 goals. Darcy Jones was huge. He kicked 2 goals in really quick succession. And unfortunately, as we spoke about before, for the theme of the round, inaccuracy in front of goals. The Lions weren't able to make the most of their opportunities. So that is, they were thinking about a top 4 spot, and they slipped down to 5th. And as Chad spoke about now, there's so many season-defining games in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, there certainly is. And, you know, they've got Collingwood. They need to beat at the MCG, and then Essendon at the Gabba. So they want to hold on to that top 4 spot. They've got some work to do, and they really need to sharpen up in front of goals. Speaking about being in front of goals, this man is no stranger to a Yokayi moment. We've had him in this section many times this season, and again, he takes the cake this week. Bobby Hill is this week's Yokayi moment for this outstanding goal for the Collingwood Football Club at the weekend.
Yeah, unbelievable. How good's that 450? 450 goals are very hard to come by, and you see his agility, just not giving up on a play. You think, oh, it's going to get rushed behind, push through, and he just spins around and snaps it. And look at the energy. It's absolute uproar. And you thought they were going to be home from here. Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to be home. Obviously, Sydney had other ideas and got it done.
It was a great goal, and one man who was happy he was going to be kicking that was Bo McCreary, because he was all on his own, looking for the handball, but no, Bobby just kicked the goal. Beautiful finish.
We love it. We love to get behind the brother boys here on Yokayi Footy Shorts. Now, having a little bit of a look ahead, round 23, 2 weeks left of the home and away season. Absolutely so many things on the line here, boys.
Yeah, well, I think obviously on Friday night, the Essendon taking on Sydney. If Sydney would have lost against Collingwood on the weekend, I'd think that maybe Essendon may be a chance, but I think that it just clicked into gear. They had their good players playing well. Heaney had a huge last quarter. Chad Warner was involved as well. And Gordon was pretty quiet, but when his moment came, he was able to kick a goal and to be able to get the job done. But GWS and the Dockers look like a massive game, Chad.
Yeah, GWS playing for top 4. Obviously a massive game, and obviously Dockers can lock up a final spot as well. I mean, that lower end of the ladder there in the top 8 is really tight, and so many teams actually playing for it. So we need to make sure that obviously the last 2 games coming up, that I think that game's massive. GWS Dockers, you just don't know what can happen, what the implications are, whoever wins or loses.
It's pretty crazy to think that there's still so much opportunity for movement at this point in the season. It certainly makes for a very, very tantalising last 2 weeks of the home and away season. That is it from us for Yokayi Footy Shorts for another week, but we will be back next week to unpack all of round 23, so we will see you then.
For the best and most comprehensive wrap of each round, Access All Areas is the show for you, unpacking all the action and dissecting the big news from each round. Access All Areas thanks to Crypto.com, Mondays on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live app.